All right, here we go. We're back. Oh my gosh, it's just we're back, and it is back to back. I got Sean. Let's do the customary crack. What are you doing for? Sugar free or free?
I'm gonna go for the regular.
Done.
Here.
Well, I'm gonna go sugar free this time because I've done 2 of the other ones.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. 2025, eh?
Right on. That's good.
Oh,
I'm gonna need that today.
Yes, sir. So here we are again, Sean. It's 2025. It's another year.
Yep.
It feels like yesterday we were sitting here doing this.
Time flies, man. And dude, I gotta tell you, the setup that you have here is insane, man. I'm so stoked for you guys. When I got here early, obviously, to set up our booth, and walked in here, and I was like, all right, these guys aren't messing around. You guys are never messing around, but it seems like you're always taking it to the next level, man.
Yeah, we try it again. As you know, we speak about it all the time, right?
Yep.
You know, just want to make the most of the show and eventually just turn it into our own show, which is what it's going to be. So I'm glad that, you know, we share the inspiration, you know, you give us ideas, you know, back and forth, and we run with them, and we try and get better and better and just make it fun. So, I mean, speaking of which, you've been here since what day? Wednesday?
Thursday, man.
Gee whiz.
Like this morning I wake up and it was, you know, I was kind of done. You know, there was a lot, anything that could have gone wrong went wrong over the last 4 days. And so, but it's exciting, man. You know, it's that adrenaline's going nonstop, the stress, and you feed off that type of stuff. It's like, all right, here we go. There's another hurdle. Let's get over it. Let's solve it. Let's move forward. So this morning, got to the booth early, and kind of just looked around, finally able to take a deep breath. And it's like, all right, we're here. It's go time, man.
Well, let's put in perspective. Your hurdles and my hurdles and many other people's hurdles here are 2 different hurdles.
Yeah.
My hurdles are, oh man, these Ottomans are very heavy. They're like 4 pounds. You're talking, your hurdles are like 40,000 pound hurdles.
Yeah, gosh.
So talk us through your setup, man. It's a epic setup.
Thank you.
Phenomenal, sexy, beautiful. But hey, listen, we can't run away from the weight and all the moving parts. So, you know, like to set those up, it takes time, effort. I mean, they've got to be, you're talking about moving, you know, what is it, like, is this, I don't know if it's like 4 ton of stuff, and it's got to be within millimeters, right?
Yep, it's all got to, so we'll have 2 crews running full time.
Yes.
So all the stuff for, and we sponsor a lot of the guys for, you know, inside booths. So I think we got 6 different booths this year inside at every single hall that have our lifts. So they want to use it to, you know, to put a little bit, you know, that spin, that flair in their booth, having a car up high. And so, yeah, it's hiring all the crews and managing the logistics, getting the lifts out here in time, making sure they're installed correctly, because to your point, it's heavy, it's all precision, it's got to be done the right way. So, yeah, make sure that we have all the equipment ready and that it's done in time, set up correctly. And it's like, all right, we check that off the list. Now it's getting all the cars in, right? And so it was cool. We had the guys from Overkill Racing and Chassis brought one of their mini monster trucks.
Oh, wow.
They left it at the booth the night before, and then they had to drive back to Utah because they had more work that they were still doing, another project that was almost done. So they did a marathon. And so the next morning I get there and I get a text from Joel. He goes, all right, man, here's how you start it. Hit this button, hit this button. I was like, no way, dude. So stuff like that's cool. And Rachel and the boys were here, so I had the boys get in the passenger seat.
That's epic.
Yeah, started this big monster trucks, got rear steer, all this stuff, moving around to get it up on the lift. And we got a racing Lamborghini that goes underneath it. We got the world's first Tesla Model 3 with long travel off-road suspension we got some really cool stuff in the booth, but it's just juggling all the space and the timing, getting everything. And so it was a lot, man, but I wouldn't have it any other way, man.
So you say, we've got the big booth outside and we've got the mini booth inside. Yeah. I mean, it's not a mini booth. I mean, talk us through it, right?
It's still a big booth. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 30 by 50 on the inside, and we have our Octa-Flex, our 8-arm, 2-post lift.
Jeez.
And Dustin from Nostalgia Hot Rods, he's building the C10 for us, the Valor C10. And it's in primer. So we had him bring the chassis and the cab from Utah here, and where he performed a cab off. So our 8-arm lift, we got the primary arms holding the chassis up. The auxiliary arms come around, grab the cab. So our inside booth, we've done a cab off operation.
That would look insane.
Yeah, so, and again, just the logistics, all that stuff, but it's cool, man. It's once you're done with all that and be able to step back, and that's, as corny as it sounds, for us, that's kind of like one of those mic drop moments is having an 8-arm 2-post lift, and because we got all the OEMs are knocking on our door, hey, when's this going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? All the development's finally done. Finally, knock on wood, it's all done. We're just going through the ALI certification paperwork. So all the practical testing's been done. Once we get through the paperwork, we're hoping early Q1 we'll actually finally be able to start selling, but we have a huge waiting list of people for that.
So what's crazy, right, is you're talking, let's go back to basics. You're talking about a 2-post lift. Mm-hmm. And there's not just two not two moving parts, but you're talking 4 moving parts now.
Yeah.
Like, can you share like a little bit of that technology? I mean, that's your thing, right? So, I mean, I got to hear it. I don't care about the crowd. I want to hear about this thing.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. So it's basically almost taken like 2-post lifts and putting them back to back, right? So on each side we have these wide posts. We have the standard, 4 arms that come in. The auxiliary arms come off the back of the post and they have an elbow, and so they basically swing around like this. It's got separate control. We have a turtle speed, so like when you're
nice.
getting the cab and chassis close, you can go to the slow speed just for that last couple inches, or when you're removing something. And so yeah, it was engineering. It was definitely a hurdle getting everything to where we were comfortable with it from a safety factor, and obviously ALI has very strict requirements. So there was a lot that went into it, a lot of moving pieces to get it all working together. And so now having it in its final iteration up there, doing a cab off with the truck that's being built for BendPak, that's awesome.
What a feeling.
Be able to sit back. And so now it's just, now it's just the paperwork. So once the paperwork's done and we can start selling, that's when I can really take a deep breath. But it's still cool. Every step of the way, it's like, all right, we got that marked off the list, one step closer, one step closer.
So, I mean, what does something like that take? How long does something like that take to design?
Oh, dude.
And then, because the funniest part is what people don't realize is just the approval process takes forever.
It takes forever.
So everyone's like, okay, the product's done. So you're talking to me about this product that's there. They're like, oh, it's done. But then it's going to be like another 12 months potentially or whatever for the approval. But people don't realize it takes forever to get to that point. And then they're like, well, why is it taking so long? So give us like a timeline of, idea from an idea to delivery. Because people don't. There's that part that people don't appreciate, because we'll get to this, and I'll touch on this at the end. But after you explain it, because then it goes beyond just. From an idea to delivery or idea to retail ready.
Yeah.
Because then outside that, you have a high level of safety, right?
100%.
So there's that portion too, which we will touch on, because I remember that beautiful new video where you're showing, where
ASR's
the lock arm,
yeah.
So we'll get to that too. So then there's like an idea, retail ready, that process, and then there's all this safety in between. So. Over to you, sir.
It's crazy. It's been about 3 years. So since it's a one of a kind, right?
Yes.
So we're really good, actually. BendPak's very agile. And so we can come up with a new take on like a 2-post or a 4-post or something and have it engineered, tested, go through all that process. We can turn around a new idea pretty quickly. But this, since it's the first of its kind, it's the first in the world, this is something we really wanted to take our time with. So we're looking at already going on 3 years,
Nice.
And it's so, we come up with the idea, we have the engineers go through everything, we have a sample created, and then we test the sample. It's like, okay, we want to switch this, change that. And then once we get the actual structure to where, okay, this is doing everything we need it to do, then it comes down to, all the safety factors. So everything has to have a minimum of a 1.5 safety factor.
Wow.
So if something, is going to be, if we have a lift that's rated for 10,000 pounds that we're selling at 10,000 pounds, it's tested at 15,000 pounds.
Beautiful.
And so now it's that's when the real work starts. It's like, okay, if we want these arms to be certified to the auxiliary arms to hold 6,000 pounds, we're testing it at 9. So we're doing a lot of the testing ourselves. We know what the tests are that are going to be required of us. So we do those tests on our own, where we do all our R&D in Santa Paula and stuff. And it's, okay, we want to change this. We want to, increase the strength here. Or some cases, hey, this is over-engineered. This is unneeded weight, right?
Yes.
But yeah, this has been like a wild ride, man. This is going to be one of those ones where once it's actually for sale, I got to figure out something cool to celebrate. Because there's been a lot of highs and lows, and but it's been so rewarding, and we're so excited with the feedback.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part, right? So, again, people ask, why does your lift cost more than somebody else's?
Yep.
Can't I just go and buy a second-hand one, or just my friend knows a friend? Whatever it is in business, a friend knows a friend. He's got a contact or an in. I guess, you can get away with cutting corners, but you're talking about a car lift. So it's like, hey man, be part of an epic brand, legacy, phenomenal legacy brand, full stop. But outside of that, put your car on a lift that won't kill you, man. Like, you've got your kids in your house, you've got your employees there. I mean, talk about safety. People who buy lifts are spending, I'm getting goosebumps saying this, but people who buy lifts are spending all their time under the lift.
Yeah.
That's why you buy a lift, right?
Yeah.
To lift something up and work under it. So if you're going to spend all your time under this lift, don't cut a corner, man.
I got a crazy story for you. So when I see, there's a lot of really inexpensive lifts on like Amazon.
Yeah.
And so, part of what I do, I'm always curious to see what other people are doing, and looking at the price point that they're selling some of these lifts on Amazon, the numbers aren't adding up, right? And so I ended up ordering one. So this was a 4-post lift from Amazon. It said it was rated for 8,000 pounds. So the first thing that I did, after we put it together, is I put 8,000 pounds on it, and it permanently deformed.
Oh boy.
The ramps, lifts bend, it's metal, it'll bend, but as long as it springs back, right? Well, these ones, they were bending, and I can tell when I started lifting that they were bending more than they should. And once we were done with just a simple test, lifting 8,000 pounds, bringing it back down, everything was bent, permanently deformed. And that's scary, man, because to your point, people have their kids might be in the garage, or let alone themselves. And so, that's a big part of what our marketing team is trying to work on, is just create awareness for stuff like that, because the average consumer, they see something on Amazon and it's saying it's rated for 8,000 pounds. Their assumption is that it's safe to 8,000 pounds. That lift was not safe to 8,000 pounds, man. So that stuff is really scary. And it's obviously, it's the brand, it's being, I want to be able to sleep at night. Yeah. So, I know that when we release a new piece of equipment, I've spent time underneath it, right? I've done the practical testing, I've put cars on there, I've worked on cars underneath it. It's not uncommon, I'll bring stuff home, work on it, or I'll bring one of my project cars to work, and I want to go through the whole thing. And so if I don't feel comfortable under it, then sure as heck don't want anyone else under there.
And that's that thing, right? And I guess, and that's the reality, right? So again, when I'm not here, and neither are you here to bag anyone on Amazon or whatever it may be, but you don't know who's on the other side of that shop. Yeah. They'll see the post, they'll close that account, open a new one. Mate, you guys have been around for how long?
Since 64.
So what is
1964.
What is that?
Crazy,
man. Is that like, what's that, 100 years?
40, almost 60 years. Or over 60 years now.
Yeah.
It's 65, sorry, because we're actually coming up next month will be our 65th year.
So you're talking about 65 years in which you have put your name on your sleeve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's exactly what it is. You're making something saying, buy it, we're here, we stand by it, we're not going anywhere. And ironically, that's all the conversations we have here. So I had Trevor here from Alliant Insurance. And insurance brokers, we've been friends for 20 years. And he is always like, I'm here if you need any help, I'm here, I'm not selling you anything. And eventually, this year or last year, we started working together. But he's not going anywhere. So it's like, this is a long-term commitment. Yep. I'm an insurance broker for life.
Yep.
I'm not going there. Whether we work together or not, it doesn't matter. And to your point, is a long-term commitment from BendPak. So it's like, whether you use our lift or you don't, if you do choose to use it, we're not going anywhere, and whatever we promise, we're going to deliver.
We're gonna our names on it. We're gonna make sure we want our customers. It's like you guys, right? So it's not a situation where Speedmaster is going to sell a product and then there's no support for it. It's the same with us, right? So you want to make sure our customers have that trust, knowing that if they get a piece of equipment from us, we're going to be there to support them in any way possible, but they know for sure that it's going to be safe. It's going to be safe.
And that's phenomenal. You're talking, like you said, 3 years to make this Oculus. Is that what you call it?
Octa-Lift.
Well, you can't have Oculus, obviously.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
It's Octa-Flex, and we've had, I'm laughing because that was part of it too over the last year. It's like, okay, we finally got this thing to where it's at the production level. We've done all the practical testing. So now it's okay, now we got to set in stone, what's the name going to be? And so it is going to be the Octa-Flex. And yeah, in a lot of that time was because of safety. So, the general design has been the same. There's a lot of little tweaks that we've made, but a lot of the work, especially over the last year, has been, structural components to make sure that thing is absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, because to your point, it's, oh my gosh, like you said, you could say the steel's rated at 20,000. Like you've got all these, but then you go and use one crappy bolt or or a lightweight wire, or you know what I mean. It all has to work. Yeah,
it's the weak link,
and the weight will find it.
100%. Yeah, and so that's again, the big thing for me is I want to be able to sleep at night.
Yes, sir.
And but also it's our name. There's a lot of pride in the BendPak name, and so we want to, we want to be proud of what we're putting out there, and we're very proud. And a lot of times it's the board of directors would obviously rather that this lift had been ready for sale a long time ago, because there's been so much hype, and we already, we've been doing some pre-sales. There's a ton of orders already, so they're excited about it. But it's going to have my stamp of approval, and at the end of the day, it needs to have BendPak's stamp of approval, and the executive team, everyone's on the same page, safety first, and so taking our time, make sure we're going to do it right.
And what's awesome is, I guess every good business starts by solving a problem, right? And I mean, the most simple problem is how do I get under the car? Yeah. But what I love is, our BendPak lifts. I'm in love with our BendPak lifts. But then you came out and then you start doing all the sexy little finer details. We spoke about the little air. You're like, hey, well, here's this little Go compressor.
Yeah, little Go air compressor.
Go air. Yeah. Oh my God, and this is like perfect. So not only are we doing like all the heavy stuff, and that's why it's important you buy a brand too, right? Yeah. Because you need to have the full solution. So yeah, you may have bought that lift from Amazon, right? But then what happens if I'm like 4 years into it and I want to change the cables? Yep. Or I want to change the bolt.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You're on your own, man.
You're on your own, and then you're back going to buy a BendPak lift.
Yeah, and it's one of those, and we're still very affordably priced, but just like with anything, there are cheaper options out there, but you do get what you pay for. And solving for a need, you had mentioned that it was interesting. So when we first started the Octa-Flex, we were thinking that the primary thing we were solving for is helping with EV battery removal and installation, which it's going to be great at. But the very first show that we took it to, and these guys start coming by and they're going, oh my gosh, this is going to be massive for a cab off. And then I had a Toyota technician come to NADA show last year, and he's looking at it and he's blown away. They just had I think their third recall for Tacomas that required a cab off. And he's looking at this thing, I'm explaining how it works. He goes, this is gonna end up saving 4 hours per operation at a minimum, because the hardest part is getting the cab and the chassis lined back up. Yes. So they take a cab off, they roll the chassis away, they do their work on the chassis, they roll it back. If that chassis is an inch too far to the left, they got to roll it forward, roll it back. Now it's an inch too far, So just that in itself. And so You know, being able to keep everything on the same plane, fully aligned, you know, up. They can get the chassis up. So now as they're removing the hardware in the bottom of the cab, they can be comfortable instead of on the ground, you know, doing it. When the cab and the chassis are separating, normally they have to be on the ground to see if there was a wire that they missed or something. Now they can do it all at eye level, so it's totally ergonomic for them. But yeah, that's one of those things where, you know, it's solving for a big need. And it used to only be that Ford was doing cab offs, but now GM's doing it, Toyota's doing it. They're realizing that's a more efficient way to access certain parts of the engine compartment. So
it's interesting you say that. So you very quickly identified you need to solve a problem for EV cars, right?
Yeah.
And so talk me through that, because you know that's a whole different beast, right? And so now
it is.
Again, you've gone out there, and I'm not sure if this is right. So this is a question for me and the viewers. The EV cars, I'm thinking, weigh a ton. Like
they're heavy.
They're heavy, right?
They are heavy.
So
the
talk us through that.
Heavy. Yeah. So that's been really cool too. So we have our EV battery table, our EVS 4500. And we actually got a new one that I'm really excited about. We're hopefully going to reveal Q1. But so the problem is these EV batteries. A standard Tesla battery is going to be like 1,200 pounds.
Wow.
Now, but you start getting in some of these bigger trucks like the Hummer EV. Yes. The battery in that thing is 3,600 pounds.
Holy macaroni!
So you got a small SUV in battery that needs to come out of the bottom of this thing. And so taking it off isn't that big of a deal. You can have any kind of table, put it up there, jack up the table, release it, and come down. The real challenge is when you go to get that battery back installed. Everything is precision. It has to be an exact perfect spot. So if you have 3,600 pounds of battery, and then you have 1,500 pounds of table underneath it, that's a massive amount of weight. And if you have to move that thing 1/4 of an inch to the side, good luck, right? So the fact that we have a slip plate, we have 4-corner adjust to get
that is
pitch and roll.
insane.
So I got to do at Kenworth and Peterbilt, I did it twice, they have their EV semi-trucks. And our table has the highest weight rating. The batteries on these semi-trucks are 4,000 pounds, the center battery section. Then they have 2,000 pounds on each side in these separate pods. And so our table, when we went there to demo it, and the fact that they could get everything aligned perfectly parallel, because sometimes the truck isn't on the same plane as like the ground.
Yes.
So they get one corner of a standard table to touch the battery, they undo the hardware, this corner crashes down, right? So to be able to get everything fully adjusted, the slip plate, and then having that much capacity, that was fun. It was a little nerve-wracking being under a big rig up on a lift and pulling this thing down, but it worked so well that the techs were so stoked on it, and we were really the only option that they had for something that was that heavy. So that was really exciting.
I mean, just you're blowing my mind right now. Just hearing about the weight, the movement, and I don't know if it's important, but I will say this. I mean, staff get impatient.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but they do. And when you're a couple of inches off, you've got to go forward, go back. You know what? Just drop it. It'll come together. But then you talk about safety. Think of this, right? This is a whole argument in itself that you guys could, which you should move forward with. Not only are you a safer alternative because, tried, tested, over-engineered.
Right.
But then you're adding this extra layer of, because they can precisely
line everything up,
you're actually adding a level of safety for the consumer.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to admit it, but humans will, it's at the end of a shift.
Sure.
I want to go home.
Yeah, cutting corners.
Cut a corner.
Yeah.
It's just human nature, you know what I mean? It's out there. Can you imagine if you're getting that car, goes home, it's squashed a brake line, or it's squashed something, next thing you know, you don't have brakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hurt yourself, you kill yourself, all because someone's like, oh, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
So now thanks to this process and situation, not only have you added a level of safety for lift safety, but you have now gone one step further, and again, just human safety.
It is. You're 100% correct. You know, everyone's time is money, so everyone's trying to go as fast as they can. And yeah, so when you're talking about that much weight, like that 4,000-pound battery, right, on that big rig, you know, before they would have to kind of wedge things in to try and get it at least a little bit, you know, parallel to everything lined up. And the fact that each corner, they can crank up each corner and get it so it's absolutely perfect. So when they released all the hardware, there was nothing unexpected.
Yeah.
Where normally they're like the last one, they're kind of like this, and they're waiting to see for something to settle, and that everything was like perfect. And then, you know, when it comes back up, they have less than 1/4 of an inch on each side of this thing to when they reinstall it. And so our slip plate, we got about 3 inches of movement, you know, in every direction.
Wow.
So for them to be able to just, and it's all on ball bearings basically, so they can, you know, pitch it, yaw, roll it, move it around to get it exactly where they need it to be without having to shove or jerk this whole thing around. And, you know, a lot of these have really delicate connection points.
Yeah.
So again, as you're trying to pull on this big heavy mass and jerking it to get it to move a little bit, and then one of these expensive plastic clips hits something it's not supposed to and it breaks, now that battery, they have to take the whole thing down and completely redo it just to get this one little plastic clip. So now they can still do the job very quickly and efficiently, but with a lot more precision, right? And you know, you've tried, you know, moving something really heavy. You can't move it 1/8 of an inch. You're pulling, you're pulling, and all of a sudden the thing jerks and moves like 1 inch or 2 inches. That's where you start getting in trouble. So that's a big part of what our tables solve for, is they can make these precision, tiny little movements to get this thing exactly where it needs to be in a very predictable, safe, but also efficient.
Yeah, why would you buy this lift? For human safety, for multiple factors, for your kids, for this, for that, you know, for the kids running under the cars, for, to your point, the connection point, you know, like I said, you know, anyone using any dealership, any EV dealership using a BendPak lift, you feel safe.
Yeah, and it's, you know, obviously the most important part is you know, safety for the people, right? But the other factor that we're helping solve for is minimizing the damage to, like you said, the customer's car or components. There's a couple things that we've launched recently for our wheel service. It's one of the bigger issues out there is, you know, a customer's wheel getting damaged. So you think, you know, you got this AMG in, you know, it's got a beautiful black powder-coated wheel, 22-inch wheel on it, and you have a tire tech that's going a little too fast, or maybe isn't using something the right way, or maybe doesn't have the equipment that they actually need. Something slips, all of a sudden you've chipped, scratched that customer's wheel. That is going to cost you a ton of money. So, you know, a couple of things that we've launched recently in our wheel service, again, it's solving for that need of making it easier to change a tire. So we got these leverless debeaters, so instead of struggling with the tire iron and that tire iron slips and chips the rim, now everything's pneumatic and it's automated. You hit a button, this finger goes down, grabs the tire bead, pulls it up automatically. There's nothing banging up against the rim. All these assist arms come and hold the tire where it needs to be, so you don't have a tech struggling with something and doing it the wrong way because they're rushing. And then even with like balancing these different flange plates that we have that are applying the pressure where the lug nuts would go instead of on the face of the rim, so you don't have to worry about, again, you know, damaging the finish. And so, you know, it's looking at ways to improve efficiency and safety, and you know, also minimizing opportunities to damage your customer's you know, vehicle.
And let's face it, that's an ugly process. Hey, boss man, how you going? That's an ugly process. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got the rod, you got to take it on, take it off. Oh, it's
that's not going to be.
And they're doing that all day.
Yeah.
Like, it's back breaking. So can you imagine? Like you said, you're carefully putting this. Some of them, you know, $5,000 wheels
easily.
Yeah, and then you finally got it there, you're like, how much more can I be patient with this thing? And you start reefing on it and
start getting frustrated.
And they're super low profile, so there's not much room to wiggle.
Oh, those things, man. Those low profile tires like that.
Yeah.
That's you know, and that's common now, man. It's like a standard car now has 20-inch wheels, which is crazy. You used to think, like, way back in the day, only the show cars were rolling on 20s. And now it's like the grocery gators.
Yes.
You know, now the exotics are much bigger wheels, and the tires are really low profile, and that's a difficult tire to change. And so, again, you know, developing different things and offering to make that easier and decrease the chance of having that difficult conversation. And then breaking open the checkbook to pay for a damaged $5,000, you know, rim. It's like, oh my gosh. So.
And that's the thing. So to your point, like, you know, like you said, almost every car now, you know, from Tesla to, I don't know, to whatever, you know, like there's, you know, the bigger cars, you know, like the Escalades and whatever else. They're all, like you said, they come out with 20s and 22s standard.
Yeah.
So so all the fancy cars like the Lamborghinis and whatever else, they can't go much bigger than the 2022. So I guess the way they're kind of differentiating themselves is they're going to a one-piece wheel.
Yeah.
Billet, forged, one machined wheel. So that's how they're saying, hey, this is how we're going to be better.
Yeah.
So good luck making a call going, hey, you're going to need to get a 60-pound block of billet to replace the wheel that I just scratched.
Oh my gosh.
Forget it.
Yeah, no, it's everything is getting so much more expensive. And, you know, way back in the day, if it was just a steel wheel with a hubcap, no big deal. You scratch that wheel, you break out the rattle can and put the hubcap back on.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah, but even just like a standard rim on like an F-150 or something now, it's all getting expensive. So
actually, I think you nailed it. No cars that come out with hubcaps anymore.
Yeah.
Come think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was the cheaper alternative.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you buy a steel wheel on a stock car anymore?
You know, only the old school hot rods, right? So if you're going for that design, right? Maybe like, I remember last year he had that bitch and bug in the booth. I'm such a huge VW Bug fan, and so some of those look cool with the old Steelies and the chrome hubcap on it. But so now it's only if you're going for like the retro look, right?
Yeah. My question to you is, can I buy a car off the lot with a hubcap?
That is a damn good question, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you can anymore. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can.
I don't think you can.
That's funny.
It's probably a safety risk. They're probably flying off, killing people.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Everyone's going 85 miles an hour down the freeway nowadays.
Yeah.
That thing would have some momentum behind it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that again, that every good business is solving a problem.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, again, you think a professional's expensive, hire an amateur.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, right? You get all these amateur machines.
Yeah.
And let's face it, man. Oh my gosh. You wreck one rim, you've paid for your machine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely it. And so that you had mentioned our Azars are arm locks, right? So forget the safety factor of hurting somebody, right? That's obviously the most important thing. But let's set that aside. You have one vehicle fall off of a lift, right? And it damages that vehicle. That's going to be expensive. Your insurance goes through the roof. And now everyone's on social media and word's going to get out. So now it's also damaging your brand.
So true.
So yeah, it's one of those things. There are cheaper options out there. But boy, especially when it comes to safety and potentially tarnishing your brand that you've worked so hard to build up.
Phenomenal.
Is it really worth it to buy those, the cheap Amazon products? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I mean, there is so many memes of those things falling off. You know what I mean? Like just
I know.
Doing crazy stuff.
It's crazy.
So one thing people aren't aware of, and I may make a mistake here.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I do.
Okay.
But one thing people aren't aware of is just how phenomenal your solution is, where not only do you buy a lift, but you have the ability to go and install it.
Yeah.
I think that is, like the lifts that like my friends have bought from you guys,
that
that I've bought, or you guys have installed. Your team's coming.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not only you paying for a lift, you have the ability to pair that purchase with certified guys who
100%.
are dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it, let's just go, oh my God, I can do this all day.
Yeah.
I am so fascinated with what you do. Let's just go all the way and say, I buy a BendPak lift.
Right.
Right? I'm scared about inferior products, right?
Yeah.
And I go ahead and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna install it myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Home Depot, get a concrete drill bit.
Yeah.
Grrr,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some, what are they called?
Anchors.
Anchors, yeah. I'm gonna get an anchor that some guy's recommended at Home Depot's got no idea.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I've got your beautiful lift, an anchor that's probably 2 inches deep that needs to be 6 inches deep, for example, or twice the thickness. And so all of a sudden it's like, this lift is now unstable and my concrete's cracking because I just cut that corner. So talk us through that. You also, I mean, what an epic, I mean, dude, good job, man. You know what I mean? Like to have the ability to have these quality guys come out. Quality guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's, so there's a couple different things there. So it's interesting, you know, always talking to your customers, right? Getting feedback, and really, if it's someone, an enthusiast that's buying something for their garage, you know, you got to remember, this is, you know, they don't know nearly as much as you know I would, or someone that works for BendPak about lifts, because why would they, right? They've never had a lift, but they want to lift. So that can be really stressful. Of, okay, first of all, I don't know which lift is the right lift. So having our sales team there, our consultants, to be able to say, okay, ask the questions of like, well, you know, what's your ceiling height? What kind of space are we working with? How thick's your concrete?
How thick's your concrete?
Yeah. So to have someone kind of hold your hand and walk you through, okay, based on your parameters, the types of cars that you have, your needs, this is going to be the perfect lift. Okay, phew, all right, that's cool. Now, having the comfort of knowing when they're buying this lift, it's going to be a quality, it's going to be a safe lift. Okay, that's one more thing that I can check off. Then the last variable is the installation, because you're absolutely right. If it's not done correctly, that could cause some issues. So being able to have a full turnkey solution of, we'll help you find the right lift. We'll sell you a safe the lift that's going to exactly fit your needs. And then we're also going to help you with the installation part of it. So that takes all the scary aspects, all the unknowns out of the equation. We handle it all for you.
And the unknown, and I think that's a great 3-step process. You know, we'll tell you what you need, we'll give you what you need, and we'll make sure we install what you need. And I think that 3-step process is very special, and it's very important, right? When you're educating a customer. To me, that's important. So, okay, cool. Thanks, Sean. Now I know what I need. Cool, you've got what I need, love it, no problem. But then, you need to create a video showing what it looks like for a lift to be delivered. You're talking about this massive
chunk of
steel coming up. Like, you know, like, it's a overwhelming piece of equipment. Right? So I don't, like, it's not like your standard Amazon purchase is gonna come in a beautiful box. It's an overwhelming piece of quality equipment, right? So there's that last step that people need to actually go through and educate themselves, saying, you're gonna get this big thing on a big truck. And these guys are lifting, I don't know what it weighs, 4,000 pounds or whatever the hell it weighs. They're lifting this off with quality cranes on the back of a truck, lowering it down, opening it up, white glove service, installing it. I mean, these guys are great. They've got these levels, and I mean, that needs to be documented. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, if I didn't see your process, I'd think a lift was just hit the buy button. I would hate to imagine what the hell I would have had to do when that chunk of steel would have arrived. You know what? I'll tell you what I would have done is I would have hit the return button on Amazon, going, pick this thing up.
Get it out of here.
There was no way.
And then they would have hit you with a big bill to ship that thing back, right? So, I mean, it's not like you're getting the wrong toaster, right? It's like, oh, I got the wrong toaster, put it back in the box and ship it back, no big deal. No, that's a commitment. It's a big bundle of steel that's going to be dropped off at your house. And so, just having that confidence of talking through exactly what it is that you need it for. And, you know, it's interesting, when I first started at BendPak, I'm an auto enthusiast. I thought I knew about lifts. I didn't know anything.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's like it really opened my eyes, right? And so we have to constantly remind ourselves that that's the position our customers are in. So they might go, oh, you know, I want to buy an HD9 four-post. Yeah, not a problem. But you have to ask the questions, and you know, it turns out that, oh, you know, an HD9 XW is actually a much better fit for you based on what you're telling me, or the height of your vehicles, or ceiling height, or whatever. And so just having that sense of confidence, that knowing from the beginning to the end, from inception to completion, BendPak's got your back, and they're going to make it as smooth as possible.
And let's face it, man. Let's face it, right? Not, I don't know why I'm saying that, but this is a stupid comment. But I'll say it. Let's face it, you guys are a 65-year-old business.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. You got your processes down right. You got your facilities perfect. I mean, you just built that brand new facility.
Yeah.
You know, you guys know how to run an efficient business. You do this for decades.
Yeah.
So my point is, you get someone on the phone, they're not incentivized to charge you an extra $500.
Right.
They're not incentivized to charge you another $1,000. You're not calling BendPak going, wow, there's a guy on the other end who's going to get a little pat on the back because he's upsold me $500.
Right.
No, the guys are incentivized to provide a solution that works, and it's fair to say, like, you're not going to someone, good job, man, well done, you ripped him another $500.
Right.
Like, you hear what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah,
so we have to remove that. Just call.
Yeah.
Just call, make the call. We will tell you what's right.
Yeah.
We're not incentivized to upsell, downsell, resell, rotate sale.
The incentive.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the team knows now that, you know, if you sell someone a lift, even if they're an enthusiast, they have a bunch of buddies that are also enthusiasts.
Yes.
And so if they have a good experience, then they're going to tell their buddies, oh, you guys need to get a BendPak lift, and you need to talk to Zach at BendPak. He took care of me, right? If it's a shop that are replacing one of many bays of lifts, they have a good experience, they're going to call you back for the rest of them, right? So it's creating that customer for life. And the only way that you do that is by building trust and fulfilling, you know, the promise of, we're going to get you what you need, when you need, and make sure and handle all the details for you.
And that's what I love about that, because it's very important. You know, we actually don't have salesmen. It's, you know, at the end of the day, you call us, we'll tell you what we think you need. Whether you buy it at us, you buy it at a different brand, different company, we're just saying to you, hey man, be well aware that your car weighs 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You need A, B, C. Whether you buy it at BendPak or somewhere else, like, or even wherever, we don't care.
Yeah.
But just do it once, do it properly. That's all we ask.
Do it the right way.
You know what I mean? And that's what I love about long-standing legacy brands that aren't, you know, and again, you're privately owned, right?
Yeah.
So you're not out there, you're not getting pressure from shareholders, investors, this, that, going, hey man, you know, we need to triple this business, and we need to get 1 million people on the road, and we need them upselling, cross-selling. It's none of that, man.
It's family owned, and they take the brand name very, very serious. It's extremely important to them. And I mean, you know, there's so many ways to cut corners, but they have zero interest in that. They want to have this legacy. The family's going to continue on it. We got the younger generations coming up.
Yeah, you're talking about that,
Yeah, so that's going to be really exciting.
Really exciting.
So, yeah, BendPak's going to be here for a long time. They want to make sure that they maintain that reputation.
Yeah. And that's why it's beautiful. That's why it's, you know, very exciting to me. Now, talk me through the smaller stuff. We're talking big, heavy, like scary. Weight. Talk to me about the little things. There's so many little things people aren't aware of, like that, like the little addition to
the compressor.
The compressor. Talk to me through 3 of your favorite little things that you've done.
Yeah, you know, I think that compressor is definitely up there, and you know, it's one of those things where professional shops, they have air, they have compressors. It's no big deal, right? But when you're looking at like an enthusiast, you know, they'll have, it's very common for enthusiasts to have an air compressor, but you know, to be able to hardwire all the air lines, or maybe they're dragging a pancake compressor out of one of the storage areas and plugging it in when they use it, it's not as convenient. So we wanted to create a scenario where, okay, we use air, compressed air, to power our locks because it's significantly safer than having the mechanical linkages that can wear out, right? So the pneumatic locks, that requires compressed air. And if you're a consumer and you might not have shop air or anything pre-plumbed, we created this package that mounts right onto the lift.
Good.
So it provides not only the air to operate the air locks on our 4-post lifts, but now you can have a T-fitting in an accessory line. So when it comes to like filling up the tires on the vehicle, the bikes in the garage, pool toys, whatever it is, right? It's a compressor, it's conveniently mounted, and now it's just everything's where they need it. It's a really clean, tight little package for everything. So that's been exciting. The other thing that we've been working on, actually I don't think I told you about this yet, we've developed these new ramps, lightweight ramps. And there's quite a few different designs that we've come out with. We have different designs that match up perfectly with our 4-post lifts. So we've always had the extended aluminum ramps. There's still some vehicles that are just ultra low, race cars ultra low, that need a little bit longer of a ramp. Well, even if it's aluminum, if it's a really long ramp, aluminum's still going to be heavy. So having these ultra lightweight ramps that tie up perfectly with our lifts.
And what are they made of?
It's at that high density foam, like, like a bicycle helmet, right? That high density strength closed cell foam. And then with a polyurea, it's like a rhino lining coating around the outside. So this foam it's incredible how strong it is, especially when it comes to dimensionally from a compression standpoint, but it's also really lightweight. So again, think about a helmet. These helmets, bike helmets, motorcycle helmets, they have to be certified under a certain amount of load, impact, speed. They're made with that same type of foam. And then the rhino lining makes it around the outside, just makes it super durable.
That is so beautiful.
So now it's,
and it'll look nice too.
It does. And so we actually have a couple in the booth. That's something we've been working on for about 1.5 years. There's a lot of cool designs, different things that will complement our lifts, especially in scenarios where it's custom lowered vehicles. That's always hard to get, 2-post arms underneath a really low car, or quick jacks underneath a really low car.
And they're getting lower and lower, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. And so now having these, we'll also now have a full line of these ramps. We're going to call them Apex ramps to complement all of our equipment. So that's going to be really exciting.
And so, yeah, because you've got, talk me through, I was going to talk you through, because I know last time we touched on the extended arms and whatnot, which is epic feature, right? There's some of those new features on the arms. I'd love to hear about I saw this epic video. I don't know where I saw it. I don't remember. Sitting around, having a glass of whiskey, and I see this epic video. I think I was watching soccer on YouTube, and then this BendPak video comes on. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'm watching it, beautiful video, and it's, you guys are like showing like a strength test or something where, like it shows the, like, you know the video I'm talking about? Talk us through it, man.
I do know the video.
You're the man, so talk me through it. But I don't want to wreck the video, but I just remember showcasing like the brakes, how easy something breaks. Talk me through it.
Yeah, so it's the arm lock. So when you look
the
at
arm locks.
when you look at a 2-post lift, when the arms are moving, there's locking mechanisms to lock them in place so they don't move out. Now, we were talking about earlier, it's like, the end of the week, the tech maybe is moving kind of fast, or, it's been a long day, whatever. If they're trying to lift a vehicle, let's say it's a full frame vehicle, and the lift pad is just off to the side, maybe half of it's hanging off the side of a frame rail. They go to lift that truck, it might be okay for a while, and then they start, yanking out, pulling tires off, all this stuff. That arm can get to a point where it's going to try and kick itself out either side, and it's because that pad that it's sitting on is bending, and the weight of the car is trying to push it out. So a typical arm restraint is only good to about 300 pounds of force. Well, 4,500 pound vehicle is going to produce more than 3,000 pounds of lateral force on this arm if it's not lifted correctly.
Serious numbers.
So all of our new 2-post lifts and the Octa-Flex as well have our new Azars locking mechanism. So it's a full 360-degree lock engagement, 64 teeth.
Beautiful.
And we did a video where we took Ginger, our owner's golf cart, electric golf cart, hooked it up to a competitor's lift with a standard locking mechanism, and we put a scale on it. And it only took 300 pounds of weight, and it broke the locking mechanism. 300
pounds.
Then we hooked up our BendPak Mustang to one of our lifts, and I got to drive it. That was pretty fun because I got to just roast the tires. And we got it to the point where it was pulling over 3,000 pounds laterally on our arms, and it still wouldn't break the locking mechanism. So
that's what I'm saying. You're talking 300 versus 3,000. Like, these are, unfortunately, these are the, I think it's no big deal. It's no big deal. But unfortunately, these are the corners that you have to cut when trying to save some dollars, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a problem until it is.
Until it is.
You know?
And especially now,
such a shame, man.
You know, the EVs and a lot of other, you know, non-electric vehicles as well, they're adopting these lifting points that are really on the extreme outside edge. So it used to be, you know, full frame vehicles, they would have the lifting points inside. So if something fell, it would fall and it would probably ding something up underneath, but there would still be another part of the car to catch it or help catch it. But if your lift points are in the extreme outside edges of the vehicle and that pad isn't set correct and now it slips out, that car's coming down. And you hope no one's under it, but that car's coming down. And it's not to say that with our lifts, cars won't fall down, because people always find a way.
That's fine.
But it significantly decreases the odds.
Well, you're talking 10 times more security if they are cutting corners.
Yeah.
So I'd love to throw something out at you before we go. I'm fascinated every time we talk about all this sort of stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, I would love to kind of throw an idea out there.
Yeah.
I would love to see, I don't know, like something where like you've got like 2 Apple AirTags or something, right?
Okay.
Like maybe like two smart magnets.
Okay.
So you put a smart magnet on the bottom of the car.
Yeah.
And you got a smart magnet in the middle of your pad.
Yeah.
And so you basically, to lift the car, you put 4 magnets on each point, and then the arms find each other's points.
I like it, buddy.
So you hit a button, and then it knows magnet to magnet.
Self-positions. I
and then
like it.
bang, up you get. You know what I mean?
I like it, man.
Because like in the warehouse, I love the laser guided system, right? Where in warehouses, like high frequency warehouses, you lock in on the laser line on the warehouse, hit the button, lock it in, and she's going straight. You just go. Going up and down. You know, there's no left or right, just laser guided. So I'd love. I can't wait in 3 years' time to have you on this panel. And it's like, hey Jace, you know your little magnet rubbish thing you were talking about? It's done, man. It's done. But
no, I love it, man. I'm constantly. It's so funny because it's a lot of times on the weekends or even later at night, I'll be trying to go to sleep and it's like that idea pops in. And so my go-to is I always just shoot myself an email. And and so most of the time the next day I'll go, oh, that's right, that was a good idea. Sometimes it's like, what? I must have been like half asleep when I was thinking that. But there's always, you get exciting ideas, from so many different things, right? It's seeing something on TV and it ends up being a catalyst, right? Or, someone that you know and trust goes, well, why couldn't you do something like that? It's like, wow, why didn't I think of that? Of course I can. Right? And so it's exciting, man. I'm really excited to see what the future is going to hold. We got a lot of really, really exciting stuff that's going to be coming out next year. That I'm excited to share, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, man. We're going to keep innovating and keep pushing. And it's great because I know you'll keep pushing, and I just, like I said, I just can't wait to hear more about it, but you better keep me on the journey, sir. You better keep me on the journey. So I don't know, is there anything else in closing you want to tell these people? No, do it once, do it properly. I safety for humans. Yeah, all of it, man. And I'm stoked. I really appreciate having a friend like you and someone to bounce ideas off and a brand like Speedmaster to be able to work with, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, cheers to that. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. And hey, next time, man, it's going to be a blink of an eye. Yes, sir. Well, that's Sean from BendPak. Again, see you soon. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, man. Thanks, people. Cheers.